And as this potential trade war ramps up, Elon Musk's task force has been pushing to gain access to sensitive government information targeting a federal agency. Chief Washington correspondent.
Elon Musk just dropped a bombshell on live television, revealing a secret about Angela Rayner that no one saw coming. Within minutes, the internet was in meltdown, and the political fallout could be massive. What exactly did Musk expose, and how will Rayner fight back? We're breaking it all down. But first, a quick favor. If you love fearless political content like this, hit that like button and subscribe. It's completely free, and it helps us reach more viewers like you. Done it. Awesome. Let's get into it.
Set to donate £100 million to Nigel Farage's Reform Party. If that's true, it would be, as I understand it, the biggest political donation in British history, and it would sure put rocket boosters, if you'll excuse the SpaceX pun, under reform ahead of the next election, wouldn't it?
The stage was set for a showdown that would shake British politics to its core. On one side, Angela Rayner, Labour's fast-rising powerhouse, known for her fiery speeches and unapologetic working-class grit. On the other, Elon Musk, the unpredictable billionaire whose tweets alone can move markets and ignite global headlines. Two worlds, two egos, and one live event that no one was prepared for.
What do you think about what Elon Musk has been tweeting about Britain and the Prime Minister over the last few days?
Well, what I say is that all social media companies have responsibilities as well to deal with fake news. We've seen a lot of fake information being shared online platforms. We've seen a lot of hate, and people have a responsibility to not conduct themselves and to amplify that, but actually to deal with the online misinformation, but also not to spread that hate. And you know, we don't want to see that, whether that's online or offline. And people who are online spreading violence and inciting violence will be met with the law, as well as those that turn up and try and throw missiles.
It all started with what looked like an innocent tweet. Musk had casually posted about the future of electric vehicles in the UK. But Rayner, never one to back down, fired back, blasting billionaires for meddling in politics. Her comment lit up social media, but Musk's reply stopped everyone cold. A cryptic message, vague, ominous, and hinting at secrets that could change everything. Suddenly, this wasn't just a Twitter spat. It was the beginning of something.
He'd like to get rid of Sir Keir Starmer before the next general election. He believes that Western civilization is threatened. There's been a lot of pushback. I think the Labour government's policy seems to either be to answer journalist questions by attacking him or else trying to ignore him. But you sort of said that China can't be ignored. Elon Musk is essentially the richest man in the world, and one would argue perhaps one of the most powerful men in the world.
Their online feud exploded into a national sensation, dominating every major headline. Within days, both agreed to face off, live, on camera. The studio was silent as they sat across from each other. Rayner looked fierce, ready to defend her ground. Musk, cool and composed, wore that familiar smirk, unreadable, untouchable. From the first exchange, it was obvious. This wasn't politics as usual. It was raw, unpredictable, and about to blow up in front of millions.
Musk has declared that very few companies would be willing to invest in the UK under the current administration. Now, this wasn't just some off-the-cuff remark. Musk has made this statement in response to a letter from Scottish politicians who are hoping to woo Tesla into opening a new gigafactory in Scotland.
Musk, known for his unpredictable antics, appeared unusually calm, almost surgical in his approach. With effortless precision, he dodged questions about his own controversies, turning the spotlight onto Rayner's past at every opportunity. Rayner held her composure, answering confidently, but those watching closely noticed a subtle shift, a flicker of unease in her tone. Then Musk changed direction, moving on to a broader theme, honesty and transparency in public life. The words carried a quiet gravity, drawing in the entire studio, and everyone watching at home.
I don't think anyone should go to the UK when they're releasing convicted paedophiles in order to imprison people for social media posts. Yeah, blimey. Talk about not pulling any punches. But this wasn't just Musk being petty. It actually speaks to a core issue that's been at the heart of his beef with Labour. It's about free speech.
Musk's tone deepened as he spoke about leadership and the need for absolute transparency. Every sentence seemed to carry an unspoken warning. The air grew thick with tension. Something big was coming. Viewers could sense it. For just a split second, Rayner's trademark confidence wavered. Her no-nonsense image, the one that made her a household name, flickered. Musk's words had clearly struck a nerve, and the audience could feel it.
Himself as a champion of free speech. Actually, he's even gone as far as to brand himself as a free speech absolutist. In his view, Labour, under Keir Starmer's leadership, is on the wrong side of this debate. Musk has repeatedly accused Starmer of restricting free speech in Britain. He's taken particular issue with the UK's online safety bill, which aims to regulate harmful content on social media platforms. In Musk's eyes, this is a step too far and is potentially stifling free expression online. It's really important.
But what did Musk actually know? What was he hinting at so deliberately? Behind the scenes, in the weeks leading up to the interview, Musk had quietly assembled a private team of investigators. Their mission: uncover everything there was to know about Angela Rayner. They dug through archives, tracked down old contacts, and dissected her political career in microscopic detail. Nothing was left to chance. Nothing was left hidden.
But the free speech debate isn't the only point of contention between Musk and Starmer. Remember those riots in the UK last summer? Well, Musk waded into that controversy as well, dubbing the Prime Minister Two-Tier Keir. He wasn't the only one. Now, this nickname was Musk's way of criticising what he saw as unequal treatment in the justice system. He argued that the punishments handed out to those involved in the riots were disproportionate, especially when compared to other crimes.
What they found was explosive, a carefully compiled dossier that could rewrite the story of Angela Rayner's rise. Buried within it were documents, connections, and decisions that painted a far more complicated picture than the public had ever seen. It wasn't the familiar tale of a straight-talking, working-class fighter. It was something deeper, more strategic, and potentially far more controversial. The narrative Rayner had spent years building was suddenly under threat.
Has made attracting businesses to Britain a central pillar of his economic strategy, at least in theory. With the UK facing low growth and the aftermath of some pretty hefty tax rises, which is putting it mildly, Starmer's been on a mission to woo international investors. So, having the world's richest man essentially giving your country's business climate a thumbs down, not exactly the ringing endorsement that Starmer was hoping for. Let's not forget what sparked this latest round of tension: the possibility of a Tesla gigafactory in Scotland. These aren't just any old factories. They are massive facilities that produce both electric vehicles and the batteries that power them. Huge. A gigafactory in the UK would mean thousands of jobs and a significant boost to the country's manufacturing sector. So it's no wonder that Scotland.
Rayner's reputation as a self-made working-class hero was now on the line. Musk, still calm and measured, began to lay out his findings. He pointed to records of undisclosed meetings between Rayner and corporate lobbyists, evidence stretching back to the earliest days of her career. For a brief moment, Rayner's confidence faltered. A quick flash of unease crossed her face, gone in an instant, but unmistakable.
No wonder that Scottish politicians are eager to get Musk's attention. It'd be a huge boon for them. With Musk's latest comments, that dream seems to be slipping away. It's not just about Tesla. Musk's words carry weight in the business world. If other tech giants and investors start echoing his sentiments, start saying the same thing, it could spell real trouble for Labour's economic plans. Where's the growth? It's important to know.
Musk wasn't a politician looking for points. He was an outsider, with resources, reach, and a mission to expose what he saw as hypocrisy at the highest levels. He spoke of private dinners in exclusive restaurants, secret negotiations behind closed doors, and financial backing that had never appeared in official records. Each detail chipped away at Rayner's carefully polished image. The host, visibly unsettled, tried to change the topic, but Musk refused to back down. His final words echoed across the studio: asterisk, the public deserves to know who really pulls the strings in British politics. Asterisk.
Labour's impact on the national economy, although larger businesses seem more confident than smaller ones. But Musk's comments do tap into a broader concern about the UK's attractiveness as an investment destination. Post-Brexit, and with ongoing political uncertainties, quite a lot of those, some investors have been wary about putting their money into British ventures. So, how has Labour responded to Musk's latest broadside? Well, that's the interesting part. They haven't, at least not directly. The Labour Party has maintained a conspicuous silence in the face of Musk's criticisms, which could be a strategic move. They don't want to get drawn into this. By not engaging directly with Musk, they avoid giving his comments more oxygen, the oxygen of publicity.
Credit.
To unpack
Rayner
Musk's
didn't back
revelations.
down. She
While
hit
Labour
back
Party
hard,
officials,
calling
yet
Musk's
something
claims
had
nothing more than
changed.
wild conspiracy
Her
theories,
usual fire
the work
and
of a billionaire
sharpness
with
seemed
too much
dull,
time and
huddled
too
in
little
urgent
accountability.
closed-door
But
meetings.
something had shifted. Her trademark fire and sharpness seemed dimmed, and everyone watching could feel
She
the
pushed
momentum
back
slipping
hard,
away.
billionaire,
By the
with too
time
much
the interview
time
wrapped,
and too
the
little
political
accountability.
shockwaves were already spreading.
The fallout
Commentators
was already
rushed
spreading.
to dissect Musk's
Political
revelations,
commentators
while Labour Party
dismissing
insiders
Musk's
scrambled
claims
into emergency
as
meetings.
baseless conspiracy
The question
theories
echoing
cooked
across
up
the
by
nation was
and those
impossible to
watching
ignore.
could sense the momentum
What did this
shifting.
mean for Angela Rayner's
By
future?
the time the interview ended,
Media campaign by the world's richest man, Elon Musk, who accused Keir Starmer of complicity in what he called the rape of Britain, a failure to crack down on child abuse by gangs. Musk also said Home Office Minister Jess Phillips is a rape genocide apologist. And only this morning, Trump's advisor, Musk, wrote to 211 million followers that it should be prison for Starmer.
The very traits that had once made Rayner a household name, her authenticity, her working-class grit, were suddenly under the microscope. Labour supporters were divided, torn between defending their rising star and demanding the truth. The uncertainty began to fracture party unity, forcing many to question what they once believed without hesitation. Meanwhile, Musk's image as a challenger to the political establishment only grew stronger. His unfiltered approach had exposed a brutal reality, that even the most carefully built reputations can crumble overnight. Love him or hate him, no one could deny his impact. By the end of the week, one thing was clear: British politics would never be the same again.
Ashamed of themselves, embarrassment. I think that woman needs to look in a blimmin' mirror. Maybe Lord Ali can afford to buy her one. The problem we have here, of course, is this isn't the first time in recent months that senior figures who are now, in America who are going to...
Angela Rayner, once the brightest star in Labour's ranks, now found herself fighting to salvage her credibility. The revelations about her undisclosed meetings with lobbyists had cast deep shadows over her reputation as a champion of ordinary people. The political backlash was swift and unforgiving. Her approval ratings nosedived, and even her staunchest allies began to demand answers. Within Labour headquarters, pressure mounted. Party leaders faced a defining dilemma: stand by Rayner and risk the fallout, or distance themselves to contain the damage.
Between a billionaire and a political party. It's about the future of free speech in the digital age, the challenges of investing, or rather of attracting international investment in the post-Brexit economy, and the delicate balance between regulation and innovation. So whether you agree with Musk or not, you think he's wide of the mark, one thing's undeniable: his words have power. They can move markets and influence.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's unexpected dive into British politics ignited a nationwide debate about power, influence, and accountability. To some, he was the truth-teller Britain needed, a fearless disruptor pulling back the curtain on corruption. To others, he was a dangerous force, using his immense wealth to rewrite political narratives. But whatever side people took, one fact remained: the impact was seismic. This wasn't just another media scandal. It was a moment that would redefine trust and transparency in British public life. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and join us next time for more deep dives into the stories shaping our world.